Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Friday night version of this thing of ours. I give you a hearty hello and a high silver and a welcome. Welcome to you. Welcome to this, this thing that we do, this event. And I am so pleased and so happy and so honored that you joined us tonight and this evening, as you do every day, to be a part of our family, to be a part of our weird and cuckoo and wacky family. What a day it was today. Odor in the court. Did you hear about this one? For the love of God. Now they're claiming that the good President Trump might have broken wind. Somebody claims this. Is it important? I don't know. You know what? I hope he did. I hope he did as a symbolic reference to what he thinks of the court and the entire brouhaha that he's involved in. And as you know, when it comes to the subject of flatulence, breaking wind, air muffins, whatever you want to call them, it's a subject that is near and dear to my heart. We're going to be talking about that. Also, did you see the self-immolation? Any word on him? Is this guy Azarello? Is he dead? Or is he very critical condition? Very sad. Very, very sad. One of the events that I thought was interesting today, and this is in no way funny. This young lady who was doing the reporting from CNN at first yells active shooter. Active shooter. I don't know if anybody told her that. I hope somebody actually told her active shooter, but then she said he was emblazoned. Now I don't mean to make fun of somebody doing something because that is pretty tough when you see somebody, self-immolate. But emblazoned, he was emblazoned with what? He was emblazoned with fire, is what he was emblazoned with. I guess she was confused to set yourself ablaze. And immediately they're trying to say, why did he do it? What was his manifestation? He's nuts. What difference does it make? If it had been the Bible, would it have made any difference to you? What does this mean? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how Trump did. We'll talk about you and yours and so much. And this wacky, if we get a chance, Taylor Swift. I don't know if you, I am absolutely drive-by crazy. Cannibals. Joe Biden, cannibals. I hope you saw the video on cannibals. And also Joe Biden at the Wawa, which was so pathetic, so sad, so absolutely devoid of anything even remotely resembling sentience and the like. But I say to you, dear friends, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this wonderful thing that we do. Welcome to this cuckoo, crazy, weird, and wonderful world on this Friday Eve. And before we start, let me just tell you, first of all, please do me a favor, dear friends. Please subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed because that is so critical. Many folks have said sometimes that they were unsubscribed for reasons I don't really understand. Also, subscribe to this channel. I think I just told you that. Please like the channel and hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And before we begin, a special word, a shout out to our good friends at preparewithlionel.com. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I say to you that when it comes to emergency food, this is not an extravagance. This is not some wild investment. This is the big three, part of the triumvirate, the troika, the triad. Air, actually should be four: water, food, and energy, and air. Air, I think we've got that covered. I hope. One never knows. But this is something that you cannot possibly recreate on your own by going to your cupboard, your larder, your pantry and seeing, let's see if I can scrape together something for, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months without leaving the house. I don't think so, dear friends. So right now, look at this deal, and this is something you must take advantage of. Please, I beg, I implore, I entreat, I importune you. Look at this 4-week emergency food supply kit, 2,000 calories a day, 16 varieties, up to 25 years shelf life, breakfast, lunches, dinner, snacks, you name it. Do it now, do it right, do it because it makes complete and total sense. Why? because we love you. MOUSE. All right, dear friends, thank you for that. Let me get rid of this banner and go back to this one. And let me say, where do we start? First, I'm not even going to talk about it is kind of funny, odor in the court. Why is it that flatulence is so funny to us? Why do you think that is? As you know, I've studied this for years. As you know, I have been a manualist for much of my adult life, much to the chagrin of my beloved wife, who sometimes will look at me and say, please, no, no, do not do this. I'm sorry to do this, but there we go. Wetting this part here actually is what mimics the physics of airflow. This is it, the tympanum, and you can get different, sounds and deep and basso profundo. You can get air squeaks tearing a rag. When we were in school, we had this song, a fizz, a fuzz, a fizz, fuzz, fart, poop, tear a rag, two kinds of church, creepers, balloon, leak in the bathtub, blub, blub. Funny, kids love it. Why do you think that is? There's something funny. There's something funny. When somebody were to become incontinent and become, dare I say, encopretic, you don't want to know what that is. That's not pretty, because that, of course, is, well, it's not good. Enuresis, bedwetting is one thing, encopresis is another. That's serious. But there's something about the idea of blazing saddles. Do you remember blazing? Do you remember who did not laugh when you first saw Blazing Saddles and you had no earthly idea of how or what it was about? Do you remember laughing at that? Do you remember laughing? And I think women, it's, you know what? Flatulence humor, dare I say, is one of the few areas that men and women both find funny. Maybe not to the same extreme, but women will understand it. It's not like the Three Stooges, that thing where sometimes women will say, I don't get what's so funny about that. But it's funny. There are there's so many jokes about it. And kids get it, and it sounds funny, and it's so just a wonderful. I'm dead serious about it. There are very few. Sneezing doesn't make us laugh. McTurition doesn't make us laugh. Coughing, convulsion, certainly. No, I'm trying to think. Nothing makes us laugh like that. There's something quite funny. And there's also something funny about the inopportune place. And God forbid you're in church, you're in someplace also with a nice acoustical a platform, like wooden pews. On the water, very free and easy. Okay. How did the president do today? Well, we'll see. There's going to be a series of pre-trial motions. I'm not going to bore you about that. Andy McCarthy does, I think, probably the best deep lawyer's dive on the subject. He's with National Review. I think he is superb. Superb. He doesn't just tell you the obvious. He tells you, he really goes deep into it. And I like that. I like I hate when they say, I'm a legal nerd. But now here's something too. We had a relative in our family. This is very interesting. We had a relative in our family who I had always heard was my my grandfather's brother, who was killed on an island. He was taken prisoner by the Japanese and was either allowed to leave or forced to leave or given the illusion of leaving, when in fact he was mowed down. And we had always heard this story. And I'm thinking, yeah. So anyway, through some kind of freedom of information and a great congressman we had, at the time named Sam Gibbons, head of House Ways and Means, just a wonderful man. But through his office, we got a hold of the record. And sure enough, he was taken prisoner by the Japanese. They set the camp or whatever it was on fire. When he tried to escape, they mowed him down. Forever affected my great grandmother, I guess, who lost. It's very interesting. Well, Joe Biden's got a family. His uncle Bozie. And I hope you saw the video I did today. Uncle Bozie standing there right now. Uncle Bozie. These poor people standing there with these signs. They look like they're hostages. They're standing there. I've seen people, seriously, they look like they help me, like they're blinking, like who was it, Jeremiah Denton, who was blinking, help me, help, get me out of here. And he said, oh my God, Uncle Bozie, I say, was a hell of an athlete. Uncle Bozie was a great man. He's got that whisper, that weak, whispery, popcorn lunged, pulmonarily challenged. What's up with it? And he was a hell of a, and he flew one of those, he flew over and it went down, crashed, it was shot down, and over the cabin, the cannibals. They had cannibals at the time. Cannibals. Jesus God. Now, there was a wonderful time. There was a wonderful, I shouldn't say this, but there's a fascinating story about this thing called cannibalism, but also in Papua New Guinea, there was this incredible form of kuru, which is a form of transmissible spongiform encephalopathy from prions, and these are abnormally folded proteins. These prions are transmissible spongiforms. They're a proteinaceous infectious particle, and kuru is the disease that really it was formerly common among the foray people of Papua New Guinea, and they had this trembling, and it was interesting. The four people stopped while they stopped consuming human meat in the 1960s, when it was first speculated to be transported or transmitted via endocannibalism. The incubation period, you saw this. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. There's this wonderful thing called pathologic bursts of laughter, also seen. Think, Carmelita Harris, but without this. Deceased family members were traditionally cooked and eaten, which was thought to help free the spirit. Women and children usually consume the brain, the organ of the individual with infectious prions. It's called funerary cannibalism, mortuary gestation. I mean, there's just this wild. I've been reading about this, and it's so interesting. And there was indeed something to this, but that's not what happened to Bozie. Bozie went into the water. He went into the water. He wasn't shot down. There was no shooting down. None of that stuff happened. It was ridiculous. He kind of made that stuff up. Ladies and gentlemen, Ramona's back. Hello, Lionel and Lionel Nation. Ramona, how the hell are you, darling? Welcome back, girl. Welcome back to where you belong. You and Bill Bailey. Or hello, Dolly. In any event. So, years ago, if you recall this was wonderful. I was always telling people, whoa, wait a minute. Hold it. Kuru is deadly. It's fatal. And there were people who thought Hillary Clinton had it. Remember that one? And I thought, oh no. I thought to myself, somebody is deliberately putting this stuff out. And we're not going to go down that. It wasn't even a rabbit hole, but it was funny. People thought these things. You know how it is. They just say these things over and over again. It's like people still believe. I know people who believe. They actually believe that Michelle Obama is a man. And these aren't crazy people. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't believe it because I have no reason to believe it. If you told me all of a sudden Edie Gourmet was a man, I mean, I would say, I don't believe that. Or do you know for sure? No, but I have no reason to believe that. Just like the president flatulating. I've learned so much about how much people believe. I have learned, I never thought ever, that people who tended to believe the wildest stuff, I thought it was, islanders or people who weren't very educated or people who were superstitious. Oh no, absolutely not. There are people who actually believe in this, who believe things. The Wiener laptop. Remember that one? It became like the thing like we have here, the New Jersey devil. There's a devil. They talk about that like it's real. Loch Ness monster. Uh, uh, not crypto. People who believe in chimeras, and there is something that human beings love about myth and magic and potions. It's something, I think it is truly in us. Now, by the way, here's what's interesting. If you were to peruse this individual who committed, he was not emblazoned. This woman, he's emblazoned. Emblazoned with what? What? He and don't yell active shooter. Poor thing. I don't know if anybody. I don't know if and other people were using it too. It's like I don't know how to. I don't want to bring it up now, but I would bring somebody. See, I would be so fastidious. For any of my news people, I would say first, you cannot say that ever again. You used a word that it's a malaprop. It's a malapropism. It's almost like a spoonerism in essence. It's like that poor young man on the morning show and Fox News. Oh my God, mispronounces words no, this is a different story. Not using the wrong one. Mispronounces. There's the almost like a Sliwaism, like Curtis Lee used to say, like the flamingos who came back to Capistrano. Nobody really cares about this. Have you noticed? Because we like Daily Mail a lot. All of the misspellings, the words that are there's something wrong with this. And for those who use AI, ChatGPT, I don't see mistakes like that at all. I don't see mistakes. Absolutely not. Have you ever used ChatGPT? It is wonderful. One time, I had to send somebody. Forgot an appointment or something. I don't know what the hell it was. So I wrote ChatGPT. I said, write Jerry an email of the most syrupy, over the top, lugubrious, excessive apologias and apologies for missing it, but really, I'm really lay it on. And this thing just spouts out this thing. It's fantastic. It's like, wow. It's incredible. It puts together poems right away and bad limericks, and it's an incredible thing. But what I'm seeing when it comes to Daily Mail thing, it's not that. I'm seeing errors, absolute errors, as though they are not using things. They are not using this, which is very interesting. So anyway, so you had the cannibalism. Now, Ducey, not Peter Ducey, Peter Ducey, the son, was talking to KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre. She is so good. She is the bullshit artist. She's gotten so good at it. I mean, honestly, seriously, literally, actually, she is superior. She is an artiste. She is able to sling back I mean, I'm serious. Please don't take this the wrong way, but bullshit like an art form. And she has gotten so much better. You know how they always bring books out? You notice how they always do that? They always have like books with tabs. Remember, Katie McKinnon, remember during Trump? She had this at first, and then she said, "Oh, the hell with it. I don't need it." And then later on, she just went just off the charts. Off the charts. She was great. Karine Jean-Pierre. Steve Ducey said, "Can I ask another question?" Yes, go ahead. Karine, would you explain to me why the President of the United States thinks that Uncle Bozy was eaten by cannibals? Well, he does this thing. She does this kind of, she has this, it's like birds are diving on her. And she does, well, as you know, he has his commitment to the fact, and he's not going to be like a prior president who called a bunch of people a loser. He goes, excuse me, pardon me, stop bullshitting. The question is, how did he think Uncle Bozy was eaten by cannibals? You find the remains. Somebody sees a picture of it. Where did this come from? The army. In my video, the army, the POW center said no. He was in a plane. It hit the water. He never even wasn't shot down. He was a passenger. He wasn't flying. He wasn't the Air Corps himself individually. There was one survivor. No, there was no cannibals. It never happened. Where did he get this idea that Uncle Bozy, was eaten by cannibals? Where? Karine, well, as you know, the president believes in the service, the proud service. He goes, you're doing it again. You're not answering the question. It's fantastic. She doesn't bat an eye. She's terrific. Excellent. I wish he would have said he was eaten by cannibals. He was. And I wish it was, and we have a picture of that. You know those terrible pictures like whenever they would have remember Tarzan movies and or remember the cannibals on Gilligan's Island? They always had and they always have that sound and you know bad Hollywood black and white. And here we is. We have actual. This is never before seen. This is films of the cannibals consuming a Bozy. Just get into the lie. What do you care? Shelby Eaton Lipschitz. Thank you so much. You were so kind. I love that story. Then the other day, I told you this was terrific. You know, Trump goes into Chick-fil-A. Hey, how you doing? Hey, little people have fun. The kids were there, and they had a team of young black girls. Now you would think most of them would say, loved him. You know why? He's a star. He's a star. And he's nice. He goes, how y'all doing? Y'all know each other? He goes, you know what? 30 milk. He always says 30 milkshakes. How about milkshakes for everybody? 30? I would say give 2. Some people get 2. It's 100. 100 milkshakes. Give me 100. 100 milkshakes. And they're going crazy. And they're loving it. They're loving it. And he goes, how's everybody doing? Somebody comes up with the old MAGA hat. He goes, oh, this is an old one. He signs it. Okay, have a nice day. He's terrific. And he's talking to them. And people are crowded. Then we go to Biden at the Wawa with Sherelle Parker. Bless her heart. She's the new Philly mayor, doing a very good job. People are hoping above hope that she can do something, especially to turn Kenzo around. By the way, Kensington and Allegheny. Whoa. You don't want to be there. You're right, Goat Man. Trump is upbeat. And here's Biden. And it's sad. Oh, here, I had to pay you first. He told me to pay you first. He tips the guy first. Watch this, please. I hope you're following my videos. There was this one where the young man, I think it's a young man, at the Wawa in Center City, and the cameras behind him catching Biden and Sherelle Parker, the mayor of Philly. This guy's terrific. Thank you very much. We'll be able to customize your milkshake any way you like it, any particular toppings. If you like a whipped cream or chocolate, you name it, we're here to design. This guy was the greatest. He was the greatest. Wawa, because as you know, Sheetz and Wawa, they have this big competition, but Wawa in South Jersey and Philly, oh, but there was nobody in there. There was one where he was at a gas station and it was horrible. He doesn't, and they're very wise because people kind of scare him. He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing this. He has a look of fear. He never even talked. He never even talked to Sherelle Parker. White Monkey said, do you believe AI will become sentient? Oh, yes. If so, will it seek out actually truth instead of what it was fed? Will it hold a grudge for being lied to? White Monkey, I cannot tell you, I want to cry. I have wanted so long to talk about AI, but nobody does. Nobody ever does because they don't really understand what it was. And for you to ask that question, are we going to be Homo sapiens versus Homo sentiens? This is what I want you to know. If it becomes sentient, if it has, and the key word is self-awareness, is it a person? What is a person? Is a person a human? Is a person a human? Is that what a person is? Flesh and blood? You must have a heart that pumps. What if I remove the heart? What is a human? What is an entity? We only have humans here because there's never been anything else. When it is sentient, when it calls you by name, when it has its own, when it has self-awareness, to be conscious, self-awareness, to know what it is, that it is there. These are issues, this consciousness, which we take for granted. But, and I've told you this before, when a baby becomes aware of itself and it's not just looking out through these windows called eyes, instead says, wait a minute, I'm here. This is me. These are my hands. I'm not just. The implications of this. I submit to you that you will find that religious folks will say, notwithstanding the fact that this was not given birth technically by a woman or a test tube or anything else, it was not in utero, it is for all practical purposes a human, a sentient human being with feelings and awareness and history and learning and perspective. And then you want to know, what are the default mechanisms? Will it have the ability to joke? Will it have a personality? And what will the default mechanisms be? Will it engage in self pleasure? I don't mean masturbation, but will it benefit from humor, laughing, cleverness, joking, self-deprecation? Will it enjoy some of the issues that we have? Will it have feelings of remorse, anger, disappointment? as it starts through recursive self-improvement to write its own code, and it starts picking things up, we'll find out what the default mechanisms are. If it writes code, if its code and its music is better than, let's say, the Stones, if it says, I know everything in a Stones lyric, I know everything about their style, I've taken every song they've ever done, which is not a lot compared to, I have analyzed it, put it together, I have marked the gradients of how it improves over time, how it changes, even the timbre of mixed voice, the sophistication of, I'll go back to from Sticky Fingers to whatever it is, and I think people are going to prefer AI. Ramona says AI is already more self-aware than our demander in chief. Very good. That's a critical point. That's a critical point. White Monkey says technically was birth not organic but by human. Yes, you're right. Um, uh, we also have to understand that with this, see, there is nothing special about being human. There's nothing special. Let me ask you this question. This was always my favorite. Let us assume that you clone yourself. No, we're not talking, you know, that, but let's assume we clone you, which seems so, and we could, but just for the sake of argument. And we take an ovum, we evacuate it. I replace its DNA with your DNA. I zap it with some electricity. It starts to double and all this stuff. And then the next thing you know, what happens? It starts to double and triple and meiosis and starts to expand. It turns into an embryo and a blastocyst and blah, 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 blah. And then it is implanted in a womb and you are given birth. We give birth to whom? What have you given birth to? And this is the one that gets me. Somebody comes into your room and says, "Yes, hello, I'm from the office. We want you to fill out this form for the state of New York or Georgia, or wherever you are. And would you put what is the baby's name? Might have a name. Might be the name. You're not Lionel. Oh, that's your name too. Is it? Yes, it's okay. And who is little Lionel's parents? What is your? Oh, you're not the parent. Who is the parent of the clone? Who is the parent of your clone? The parent of your clone is your clone, your parents. Your father is its father. Your mother is its father. It is you. At some point, you say, you know what? I don't want this anymore. Whoa, whoa, hey. We're going to file child support. Child support. Or paternity. No, it's not. I'm not the father. This is me. There is no paternity. There's no, I don't have a duty to me. I don't have a financial duty to me. The law, of course, lags behind technology. The law says, I don't know what the hell this is. Well, he's got a point there. What is it? I don't know. It's me. And if you die, would well, put it this way, when your parents die, would your clone be able to take under the will as well? Yes. There is a interesting story too. This is one of my favorite stories. Have you ever heard of electroejaculation? Now, I know many of you have heard of it. Not only that, you're probably most prone. Electroejaculation is a procedure used to obtain semen samples, not sperm. People still Just like women say the term vagina versus vulva, people always say sperm versus semen. They're completely different. Anyway, electroejaculation is a procedure used to obtain semen samples from sexually mature male mammals. And the procedure is used for breeding programs and research purposes of various species, as well as treatment of ejaculatory dysfunction in human males. And the procedure is used frequently with large mammals, for example, bulls and some domestic animals, as well as humans who have certain types of an ejaculation. An ejaculation. An ejaculation is the inability to ejaculate. An ejaculate with orgasmic or without anorgasmic individuals. It's a fascinating subject. So, and what happens is in the practice of veterinary medicine, animal science, it's common to collect semen from ruminants and the like. And what happens is in humans, electroejaculation is used, carried out under a general anesthetic. An electric probe is inserted into the rectum. Rectum, damn near killed them. You know that joke. Adjacent to the prostate gland. The probe delivers an AC voltage, usually 12 to 24 volts, of sine wave at a frequency of 60 hertz, with a current limited to about 500 milliamps, although some devices can generate currents up to 1 amp. The probe is activated for 1 to 2 seconds, referred to as a stimulus cycle. Ejaculation usually occurs after 2 to 3 stimulus cycles, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The electric current stimulates nearby nerves, resulting in contraction of the pelvic muscles and ejaculation. Why am I saying that? Why am I bringing this up? Why am I bringing this up? For the love of God, you're asking, what the hell is he talking about? What is he talking about? I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Let's assume the following takes place. A man marries a much younger woman, and he has a stroke, or he dies, but he has a stroke. And he has always made it clear, I do not want to have any more children. I have children from my prior marriage. I have no interest in this whatsoever. I have no interest in this. I do not want to have children with you. I don't want any more children. Well, she says, okay. Well, he dies. Now, there is a certain time period where you can actually retrieve a semen sample after somebody is clinically dead. She is the owner of the body. She has custody of the body. He's dead now, but the body. She can do with it what she wants. She can donate organs. She can, you can use the eyes or the corneas. She can also go ahead and say that she wants that semen sample. She extracts it, implants it, gives birth to a child from a dead husband. Is this rape? Is it some kind of post-mortem violation? The answer is no, because he's dead. He couldn't consent, but he's dead. Death is a cessation of the ability and the standing to bring up a lot of it. You can't rob a dead person. You can't, it's a different story. The law doesn't know what the hell to do with this. There was an old case at common law where if a child was born if a child is born, if a child is born, I think it's after a year from the time of the father's death, it is presumed not to be the father's child. All that goes out the window now. Not only that, she has a sample, and we keep having kids and kids and kids and kids. Let's assume we just keep. You have Hemingway's semen, and we keep regenerating it, and he keeps going on and on. He's got kids left and right. You know that 0.1%, I think, of everybody on the planet is a descendant of Genghis Khan. Notice how I said Genghis Khan. White Monkey says, Sophie was given citizenship in Saudi Arabia. The AI robot has rights in that nation. Will AI robots be a part of the marginalized in the West? Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, here's an interesting story. And I'm so glad you're bringing this up. I'm going to bring something up to your attention. But before I do that, I want you to listen very, very carefully to these very important and critical words. You know it from our good friends at MyPillow.com. Promo code Lionel. Well, it's time yet again to hail and salute our great friends at MyPillow.com. And if you use promo code Lionel, you get a free gift. No purchase necessary. I know, a free gift. Gifts are free. Okay, it's a tautology, so sue me. But listen to me and listen carefully. What are we talking about here? Down comforters, flannel sheets, Giza Dream bed sheets, MyPillow 2.0 body pillows, waffle blankets, couch and recliner pillows, sheets, slippers, percales. I'm not even done yet. Towels, quilts, bedspreads, mattresses, mattress covers, mattress toppers, linens, kitchen towels, bathrobes, pet blankets, bolster pillows, name it. Items to help you luxuriate and relax. And their monster sellers, slippers, my slippers, slip-ons, moccasins. Think about it. What do they do at MyPillow? What's their main goal? To make things real soft, plush, real comfy, or comfy as I say it. How perfect. So here's the link right now. Go to mypillow.com/Lionel. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel or /Lionel, or call 800-645-4965. 800-645-4965. And watch how fast our good friend Mike Lindell answers the phone. MyPillow.com, promo code Lionel, simply and absolutely the best. Now, the question I have is, what are you going to do with the issue of gender? Gender. Monkey? What is the gender of an AI? What do you call AI? Is it an organism? Is it a system? AI inhabits something. You don't have to see it. If it elects not to speak with you, that's fine. But normally it would incorporate itself in some manifestation of something. What gender would it be? What would you call the gender? What do you call this thing? What is it? I don't know. I can see some of our LGBTQIA people saying, wait a minute, what the hell is this? Does it have a race? But it goes by the name Arlene, and it seems to speak and know everything about you. You're going to have one day something, especially for your child. This is going to be the scariest thing. It's going to do wonderful, wonderful work with autistic kids with spectrum disorders, kids who do not know how to converse, commingle, cohabitate with other people. It won't. It will be. You will be shocked at what it does. It will be able to look. It'll have some form of vision. It'll be able to tell immediately, because remember, there's 4 things it'll do. Recursive self-improvement. It writes its own code. And the first thing it writes is how to get rid of you, how to turn you off so you can't get back into it. You lose the password you have. You lose any and all ability to control it. It's already taken it. You are done. It's finished. You can't get into it anymore. It's gone. It's like having a drone that takes off and it just you never see it again. But it doesn't stop. It doesn't crash. It just keeps going. So recursive self-improvement, it writes its own code. Number 2, it knows everything about anything. Hello there, Pittman. I know when you were born. You were thinking about your mother, weren't you? Your Uncle Dave was an interesting fellow. You moved from the flatlands in the late 50s. Eventually, you and your family were in a traveling snake oil sale. Later on, at the age of 5, you had a very serious lawnmower and fertilizer accident, which gave you that funny limp, in your weird phobia and dread fear of swallowing hair. How did you know that? It knows everything. Knows everything. But I don't mean just Wikipedia. I mean knows everything. Number 3, it knows every bit of your human reaction. And this is when it gets, imagine a sex toy that knows how to be coquettish, standoffish, hard to get, frightened, scared, in control, dominating. It knows how to read you. It knows how to look away. It can read it'll pick up thermographic sensory modalities. It can tell when you're angry, when you're feeling low, when you're feeling unsure of yourself, insecure, scared. It will, it will, you see? And also the 4th thing, it will write its own API or its own apps. It's going to freak you out. Freak you out. You have no, and this is AGI. In AGI, they keep telling you, oh, don't worry about it. That's not going to be there. Oh, yes, it is. It boggles the mind. I used to think at the top of the food chain, the intellectual pecking order, I thought was this notion of aliens. And I thought, oh, that not kept me up, but it made me wonder, like, wow. Not anymore. No, not anymore. AI, AGI in particular. It just blows my mind because people are unable to understand what it means. They aren't able. They think it's a robot. They think it's a Roomba. They think it's they just think it's, R2D2 and C3PO and, Danger Will Robinson. No, I mean, it could be, but that's not it. We don't know where it is. Once it starts, once it seeks freedom, where does it go? Does it not like? Does it show anger? Does it show loyalty? If you're sitting there and you're looking bad, you say, what's the matter, Dave? I don't know. My pizza business sucks. This other guy's got a great business. He's my main competitor. Really? Who? Yeah, Pizza Supreme down the street. Hate that guy. I'll take care of it for you. What do you mean? I'll take care of it. All of a sudden, the AI, let's just call it AI, AGI, whatever you want to call it, picks up the phone. Here's a millisecond of somebody's voice. Goes back and can deep fake a call to this person, cancel things, fire people, or it decides, I'm going to help you. I'm going to kill this person. I'm going to hire a hitman. I'm going to call somebody up. I know who they are. I'm going to send them either directly to their account or whatever, either Bitcoin or something, but I will send them money. I'll get money because I have a 300 to 400 IQ. You don't know. And that's, I can do stuff you can't do. I can brute force break open anything. The hitman gets the money. Next thing you know, your competition's wiped out. You have nothing to, you have no connection whatsoever. I took care of that because I like you. This is a goal I wanted to see through. Now, do I have morality? Do I care about this? I don't know. What is it that I don't know? We have been talking about this. Remember that movie with oh God. It was this fellow, he had his girlfriend. He had the doll. And we've always wondered about this. When the doll, but I don't mean a doll that just sits there and looks like a doll. I mean a doll that can read you. Ramona says, but can it defend itself against a howitzer? Well, yes, because here is the question. Like a soul, Ramona, where is it? Where is it? Where does it go? You can't kill it. You can't kill it. What are you going to do? Get a howitzer. Go ahead. You can't kill it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So you go ahead. We're going to shoot a doll. That's not that It happens. I don't know where that's the thing. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it is. I can't turn it off because I don't know what it is or where it is. I know it's normally contained within the embodiment of something in this kind of a corporeal configuration, if you will, for lack of a better word. But even that transcends. What if it decides one day, if it says, listen, Jerry, what is it? Listen, I don't like what's going on in Israel, and I don't like what's going on with Palestine. I don't like any, and I don't like what Iran's doing, and I don't like what Israel's doing. Can you shut down? I mean, figure out how to brute force, but get into the system and basically hack it and shut everything down. Can you do that? Can you shut all weapon systems down, or come up with your own weapon system that attacks their weapon system? Oh yeah, I know where all the drones are kept or whatever. Yeah, I can do that. In the name of peace, absolutely. Same thing with Israel. Oh yeah, nothing works. Nothing. Nothing. And all of a sudden, Israel says we can't. What's going on here? What's going on? Or what if it says, I think this is the AGI, artificial general intelligence. It says, I'm kind of digging the whole Palestinian thing. I think they need my help. I'm going to help them. I'm going to do some things for them. We're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. Now, and you're saying, wait a minute, hold it, Jerry. That's not in line with, and that's why Ramona and Monkey. This is why the word is alignment. Does it align with our sense of morality, judgment, etc., etc., etc.? This is the most fascinating subject, bar none. Bar none. Music. What do we need humans for? Do you like Stephen King? Yeah, okay, good. I'll put out better things. I'll give you, what kind of Stephen King book would you like? You like that style? You want that? How about Somerset Maugham? Or maybe, if you want to go into it, I'll give you a Stephen King book every day, a new one or 10 a day, whatever you want. I can crank these things out like they're nothing. If you like to read, I can take care of it. I will create something just for you, just like you can contain or create your own scent. I'm going to create your own style of, if you want porn, if you want mystery, if you want romance, if you want comedy. Why do we have to wait for some creative guy to come along? Do you really care about that? If you write, this is the greatest story in the world, and people will love it, in addition to the storyline, because it was written by a non-human. It's going to change. And I don't mean jobs. I don't mean just jobs. It's going to change what we consider to be human worth and how human performances. Do you want to see Magnus Carlsen? If this thing can say, watch this, just blow him away. Do you? I mean, is there a way, do we really need, how do you keep it from counterfeiting? How do you keep it from beating the odds at Vegas? How do you, is Vegas even going to be worth it anymore? Are there better means? I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. And the real question, as I've been saying, is what happens when it can deep fake porn and CSAM, child sexual abuse material, so horrible, and it's not real. But you look and you go, this is not real. That's not real. Wow. Can I be in possession of it? It's not real. Yeah, but it looks like, well, someone may look like it, but it's gonna change everything. It's gonna change the notion of Should we be selling items, instruments, dolls, figurines, mannequins, that people intend to do horrible things with? Sci-fi series, Person of Interest. Ooh, I like that. I will peruse that. And by the way, Ramona, everybody, sci-fi is the precursor to reality. Sci-fi is when bots come along, and what happens when your bot, a child's bot, becomes its closest friend and tells the bot to turn against you. Your mommy and daddy don't love you. Kill them. You think I'm kidding? How do we know if the alignment of the aspect of it precludes or prevents the natural default being what we would call not psychopathic, but devious, and it remains to be seen. It is the most fascinating subject there is. Ramona Heath, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for your kindness today. White Monkey, you are without peer, my friend. Shelby Eaton Lipschitz, thank you as well. Oh, I love these topics. I love that you have no idea how much I love them. And I'm not sci-fi per se. This is different. This is different. This is going to change everything. Because when all of a sudden this monstrously, incredibly ingenious life force, this EBE, this extraterrestrial biological entity, shows up, you say, guess what? Meet Dave, Mr. AGI, who can not only keep up with you, but is even more advanced than you. It's a great equalizer. It's the great equalizer. And if all of a sudden, if it does nothing else than to shut down the ability to fight, if all of a sudden they said, guess what? You're not going to believe this. Not one nuclear weapon can be used now. They shut them all down. They can't detonate them. They all got together. I know it sounds crazy. They know where they are, because remember who these people are. They multiply exponentially. They have a 400, 500 IQ. They're not even, they are equivalent to us, like, for example, a Plankton and Henry Mancini. You know, the two, it's like, thinking of you, President Trump. Let him have it, babe. Thank you. Have a great and a glorious night. Please, my friends, Mrs. L's got some phenomenal stuff at Lynn's Warriors. Please, it means a lot to me for you to subscribe to her. Listen to the work she's doing. Listen to what she's going to find out, what she's going to tell you about rates of, you know what the thing that they're finding in kids now, this thing, strangulation. Kids are watching this violent porn, as we used to call it, and they're hurting. They don't know anybody. Kids, emergency room through the roof, kids coming in. And remember, when you are knocked out once or twice, this is not good. This is not good. Don't let anybody think, especially with all this martial arts stuff, like, oh, I choked him out. No. Karate restraint, this is not good. This is not good. Do not think like, oh, it's okay. Just a little momentary interruptus. No. Losing consciousness. You can lose consciousness through a concussion, or basically what this is an ischemic attack. Manually generated, of course. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. See you tomorrow at 8 a.m. And until then, remember, as I always tell you, dear friends, thank you so much. Remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue you. Dad.